What if your mind is not breaking you, but preparing you? What if the confusion you feel isn't weakness? What if the fear isn't a flaw in you, but a signal? Because your brain is always adapting, every second, every day, but adaptation doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it feels like you're falling apart, like something inside you is collapsing, like you're losing control. But what if control was never the goal? What if the goal was transformation? Before strength, there's pressure. Before clarity, there's chaos. And before growth, there's breaking. But breaking is not the end. Breaking is a doorway. Muscles grow by tearing. Bones become stronger under stress. Steel is forged in fire. And your mind grows through discomfort. So tell me, why do you treat discomfort like it's proof that you're failing? What if discomfort is proof that something in you is waking up? Think about it. When you're leveling up, life doesn't send you a congratulation. It sends resistance. And resistance feels like overthinking, restlessness, pressure in your chest, a heavy mind at night, and questions that won't shut up. You call it anxiety, but your body calls it activation. What if your mind is simulating worst-case scenarios, not to torture you, but to train you? Because your brain has one job: keep you alive. Not comfortable, not happy, alive. That's why your mind rehearses danger. It scans for patterns. It predicts threats. It runs scenarios again and again. But here's the twist. The world you live in today is not always the source of your fear. Sometimes your fear is coming from a future version of you that you're not ready to become yet. A stronger version of you, a braver version, a version that has to make decisions you've never made, a version that has to walk alone without applause, and your mind knows it. So it applies pressure, not because it hates you, but because it's building you. You see, pressure is a sculptor. Without pressure, you stay soft, you stay familiar, you stay trapped in the same loops. That overthinking, it's not chaos, it's rehearsal. Your mind is writing drafts, and your fears are just rough drafts. But confidence is the final version. And you don't get the final version without rewriting the story. So what if the isolation you're feeling, the distance from people, the quiet moments, the sense that nobody gets you, what if it's not punishment? What if it's training for independence? Because there's a moment in every evolution where you outgrow your old environment. And the space between who you were and who you're becoming, that space feels lonely. You don't recognize yourself. Old habits stop working. Old distractions don't hit the same. Old conversations feel empty. And that's when you think, something is wrong with me. But what if nothing is wrong? What if this is the upgrade? Because upgrades look messy. They look unstable. They look like deleting what used to numb you, breaking routines, changing your standards, and losing patience with your own excuses. That's not a breakdown. That's an awakening. Now, listen carefully. Your anxiety feels like danger, but most of the time, it's not danger. It's intensity. It's energy without direction. So the question isn't, how do I delete this feeling? The question is, what do I build with it? Because energy always becomes something. If you don't direct it, it becomes worry. If you direct it, it becomes creation. And here's the part people don't want to hear. Sometimes your mind makes you uncomfortable because you're avoiding something that would change everything. A decision, a conversation, a boundary, a new discipline, a step you know you need to take, but you keep delaying it So your mind turns up the pressure, not to punish you, to force movement. Because stagnation feels safe, but it slowly suffocates you. You can stay in familiar pain, or you can step into unknown freedom. And your mind is trying to push you toward the unknown. That's why you feel restless, because comfort is too small for you now. Maybe the chaos was never random. Maybe it was construction. Maybe those sleepless nights weren't your mind collapsing, but rewiring. You thought you were falling apart, but you were shedding. Your brain does not destroy without purpose. It rewires for survival, and survival is the foundation of power. The storms were not punishment, they were preparation. You were being trained for something you cannot see yet, and maybe that's why it hurts, because the future you requires a stronger nervous system, a sharper mind, a tougher heart. So what if your mind knows that your future requires a stronger version of you? What if you are not breaking? You are becoming. Trust the process. Your mind is not your enemy. It is your architect. And if this felt personal, subscribe, because your evolution has just started.